Hey everybody, this is John and welcome to the free video. For tonight, let's take a look at the daily chart and the 30-minute chart. We're going to look at the spiders. For the moving averages here, I've got a new one. Typically, I'm looking at the red, which is the 89, the blue, which is the 55, the purple, which is the 34 EMA, the white, which is the 21, the yellow, which is the 8. So 8, 21, 34, 55, and 89, those are all Fibonacci sequential numbers. When things get really hairy, I also add the 5 because on the really steep moves, you can't even get to the 8. So basically at this point, all rallies to the 5 are being rejected. At this point, the 5 on the spiders is clocking in at 258.93, and you can see that we are sitting here at 249 after hours. We closed higher, but we've sold off about 40 S&P points after hours, and the SPYs, of course, are following that. So that's the potential upside at this point. The question is, are we going to get it, or do we just keep imploding? I mean, it's kind of a weird, but we do have kind of a head and shoulders reversal here, and you'll notice here there's the potential that could pop higher, and I point that out because it's exactly the pattern that Amazon had, and it did break out higher. So over here on the daily chart, you can see that we did pop up through the 5 and the 8, and you had that same pattern. So just from looking at that pattern and just kind of understanding what is going on beneath the surface in that pattern, it's certainly possible that the stock market could do that, but I do want you to keep in mind that this isn't over yet. All right, and there's a lot of similarities here to 2008. It's just happening faster. 2008 happened over 17 months from the peak high in October 2007 to the low in March 2009, and it was gradual because nobody really knew what was going on. This time everything came to a dead stop. Here we are 3.5 weeks in, and we're already down 30%. Okay, so I do think that the 17 months will be congested into about 17 weeks, right? It's just going to be a lot faster because all the information is known up front. There's a hard stop in terms of what is going on here, and they're just going to have to save this. They're just going to have to throw a ton of money at it. So the question is like, how do you trade something like this? That's probably the biggest question I've been getting. All right, so I'm going to do a free webinar tomorrow night. This is an update on this market and basically how to trade it. All right, I traded actively in 2008. I traded actively during the 2000 .com crash. Like not my first rodeo, and I've certainly been talking through for traders that have not seen this before. Even in our office, that's like, look, here's what you got to do, or you're going to get screwed. So I'm going to go through, and I've actually done some different things this year where I've been focusing mostly on a large account in the trading room, and it's more than doubled. Here we are at March 17th. I will show you it real quick. So started off right just under what's the current balance here. I'm flat, so I've been going recently 100% flat overnight. That's one of the strategies that I'll talk about Wednesday. And then P&L year to date is $1.6 million. And so, of course, to do that, you can't have really any big losses, right? And you have to have a weekly plan, and you have to know how to trade, because January and February we had kind of a nice slow uptrending market, but now we're having this plummeting market. Now during this time, the equity curve has continued to go higher. So anyway, I just want to talk about like real life, not not PowerPoint, like, oh, this is what you could have done. It's like, I've made a lot of mistakes too. This market's been fast, but I want to show you what's working. So then we're going to talk a little bit about kind of the big picture, what's going on in the market. If you're not really sure, you kind of need to understand what's going on, because I get in a lot of people going, oh, this is just a pullback. No, like the credit markets are frozen. Okay, that can destroy an economy. It's stuff like that if you're not really aware of what's going to do, and plus the hard stop that's happened with the coronavirus and businesses shutting down. So we want to see, what's going to happen here. Is there a chance for monster gains? Do we need to play it conservative, or are people just going to get wiped out if they don't know what they're doing? Okay. What about a pandemic panic trade? And then there was a day last week where I had a really huge day, and just want to talk about like the whole key to markets like this is you're in cash, and you're waiting to pounce and learning to recognize those bigger opportunities and going in It's okay to have some conviction and stuff like this if you recognize it and just, talking about that. And then the worst mistakes that you can make right now, and more stuff too. So again, this will just be a free webinar, 7 o'clock Central Wednesday night. Just put in your name and email, and you'll be good to go. simplertrading.com/update. You guys have a good one, and see you Wednesday.